fighting for a kingdom. We're not going through what we're going through just for the hell of it. We're fighting for a kingdom. We're fighting for everlasting life. We're fighting for righteousness to rule once again on the earth. We're fighting for our power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, to set things back up in the proper order.
You know, the hopeful elect, of which we believe we are according to faith, and the importance of being of that group called the elect, which are also known as the church of the firstborn in the scriptures. Firstborn meaning the first spirits created. And it would make sense the Heavenly Father would take the first spirits created to be the rulers of the nation, the aristocrat, if you will. If you know your words, the word aristocrat literally means best rule. The first spirits created are the best ones to rule. That's why Yahweh Shai is the first of the first, and he's the best of the best to rule. You know, Yahweh Shai will be ruling in the next kingdom, and right underneath him will be King David, you know?
Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is his name whereby he shall be called, the Lord, our righteousness. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries whither I had driven them. And they shall dwell in their own land.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who move well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessing salutations to the whole lake after pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Pushing to get up out of here, man. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Shai. And what I want to get into this morning, was a video that was sent to me, dealing with, what's going on in Madagascar, and it was touching on the famine, because one thing about it, as we talk about the destruction of America, there's always a lot of emphasis, on the nuclear destruction. But before that nuclear destruction, there's going to be great suffering in the earth, man. All right. There's going to be great suffering in the earth, and especially here in America, because America is so spoiled. All right. America is the most pampered, country in the earth. All right. Because America has the benefit of having a world reserve currency, which means, that American citizens have the most buying power in the earth. You see? So we come to a time where it's going to get real uncomfortable, and it's going to be severe. I'm going to cue up this video, but it's going to be severe. And see, this famine is coming to America. You can imagine how severe it's going to be because of the wickedness of America. You see? The wickedness of America is the source of wickedness in the earth. So imagine, the famine and the suffering come here. It's going to be nothing, all right, compared.
First of all, I would like to eat.
So let me cue it up. And brothers, y'all can start posting all the, the famine precepts for this one. you know. All right. I'll start off with this one from the brother Tayyashala 144K. This is Psalm 9 and 16. It said, "The Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands." Yeah, see, Yahweh Shema Shai is about to make statements in the earth, you know. And one thing about it, when you go into the scriptures, what you have to understand is the Most High will create very harsh times for disobedience. You know, it's not going to be quick. Now, the nuclear destruction and the World War III, that's going to move quick. But even in that nuclear destruction, the Most High is going to stretch that out. That suffering of that fire, he's going to stretch that out. And before it even get to that point, hey, he's going to stretch out this suffering in the earth, man. All right, with the famines, all right, and the with the famines and the suffering, man. All right, because hunger is a hell of a suffering. Like when we're gonna watch this video, and this is coming to America, man. Except it's gonna be on a much massive scale, man. All right, much more of a massive scale. Let's get this one real quick, and then boom.
It hasn't.
Let me get this one real quick. All right, now this from the brother Yashima, tribe of Judah. This second Ezra 16:37 said, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack." And see, these things are here. You know, these things are here. It's not going to take a lot, all right, to shut this thing down, man. You know, they already have the rumors of, of the cyber attacks, you know, knocking things off grid. It's not going to take long to shut this place down, man. And that's why I say the plays draw not. We here, man. You know, the food supply chain is very fragile. All right. You have working, what you have these mandates that are destroying the workforce, you see, and then you have nothing but war tensions in the earth. All right, so everything is building up, at the same time. This second Ezra 16:38, it says, "As when, hold on, what the hell is it doing? All right, second Ezra 16:38, it says, "As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringing forth a son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh." All right. Hold on. Because these prophecies, like, birth pains, man. And what happens with birth pains? They become more frequent and they become, more intense, to the birth, all right, of the child, man. So we're living in time with the birth of chaos, the birth of suffering, man. We're finna see a suffering like never before, man. You see, we're finna witness suffering like never before. And people sleep on that, man. Because everyone, like I say, the missiles, of course, gonna be the highlight of prophecy, man. But their famine is gonna be very severe, man. It's gonna be a very severe famine in the earth. Now, it says, for they slack not a moment. Yeah, it's gonna be so many things happening at the same time. All right, the Most High is gonna have these prophecies pretty much on rapid, man. Just back to back to back to back. Suffering after suffering after suffering, man. Bad news, man. This person died, that person died. Terrorist attack over here. A pocket nuke explode over here. Tornado over here, man. Flood over here. It's just gonna be back to back to back to back, man. The day's gonna seem long because it's gonna be so much suffering in one day. You see? And it says this second Ezra 16:39 says, "Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon her on every side." You see, on every side, man. All right. There's a lot of people that's finna lose all the way around, man. There's a lot of people that's finna lose a lot of ways, man. Every way you can think of, man. All right. Now let's get can a brother real quick post, I think 1 Kings 17:1. You know, cue this up because she's gonna make a statement in the beginning of this video, and it made me think of the precept, when Elijah, told King Ahab, man, you know, because at the end of the day, the Most High is finna intervene. Like you got Esau, Edom, the Most High putting the spirit on him pretty much to terrorize the earth. And see, there's gonna be things happening, that Esau didn't plan for, man. All right, there's gonna be a lot of things happening that Esau, didn't plan for, because Esau can't shut up the heavens. All right, and make it stop raining. He plays with things, and he manipulates things, but he isn't the source and make things stop and go. Now when you go to 1 Kings, all right, 17:1, it says, and Elijah the Tishbite, who was the inhabitants of Gilead, said to Ahab, as the Lord power of Israel liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain. All right, these years, all right, but according to my word. You see, so the Most High, he can shut up the heavens, man, and make everything die off, man. All right, because rain is very vital, all right, for food, man. You see, people don't understand that the Most High is the source of food, man. People think it's Kroger, people think it's the truckers. People give credit, all right, to whatever they give credit to. You see, because people in this society have been so detached, from how food gets to the table, because you got your Uber Eats, your DoorDash, your Scripts, or restaurants, you can leave one bar, eat some wings, drink some beer, talk shit, go to another bar later on, man, eat pizza, and, uh, you know, so people are very disconnected from how food actually makes it to these areas, man. But the Most High, he's finna show, all right? Because without that rain, everything done. The animals die off, the vegetation die off, everything is done, man. You see? So let's get it. I say this is in Madagascar.
It hasn't rained for 3 years in this remote part of southern Madagascar. Villagers have no crops. Humanitarian workers have little access. Bandits plunder what's left. When the first load of food aid finally got through in March last year, it was too late. 150 people had already died of hunger. Sinazi was almost one of them. Local officials scraped together some help for her and her 8 children.
We were really helpless, like skeletons. We couldn't even walk anymore. We could have collapsed just by tripping on a twig. My children cry so much, with all their hearts, with all their strength. This one has already fainted from crying so much.
And she said one of her children fainted from crying so much, man. And that's the pressure that's going to be on. And Esau is going to have what for the solution? All right. He's going to have the Karagma. He's going to have the MOTB. That's going to be the solution, because this suffering is coming to America. All right. Children going to be dying. Going to be crying until they faint. You see, kids going to be passing out from hunger, man. Just blacking out. All right. That's why scriptures talk about enduring to the end. You see? And we have to believe in what's written in the scriptures, because let's get there real quick. And I think that's Psalm 37. When you get the book of Psalms, chapter brother post Psalms 37 and 25, and let's get Proverbs 10 and 3. You see, this is gonna be some harsh times, man. And you think you think the average American is thinking about that they're gonna be in this situation? All right. You think the average American is thinking that they're gonna be in this situation, man? You see, this is from the brother Yashima tribe of Judah. This is Psalms 37 and 25. It says, I have been young and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. You see, and these are the precepts we got to stand on in these times, man. We got to stand on these precepts, man. All right, because we're gonna see some suffering, man. And just seeing this type of suffering will do something to your psyche, man. You know, if we're not locked in, man. All right, if we're not covered in the spirit of Yahushua, man. This is GMS pray always, hope for elect. Proverbs 10 and 3 said the Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, all right, but casteth away the substance of the wicked. So the Lord said he's not going to suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, and that's why our obedience is so important now. Sacrificing now, you know, we'd rather take these little losses now so we don't suffer with these people, man. You know, I believe that's in 1 Corinthians. We'll get that and then we'll get back to the video. You know, this is yeah. This is Yashima tribe of Judah. This is it says Job 5 and 20 says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death. See, we're gonna go through things, man. Hey, they're stumbling, gonna get the rumbling. All right, gonna be some days, you know, each brother, you know, got their own thing. Each brother and sister got their own thing that we're gonna have to go through. All right, and your stomach might rumble. You know, we might feel a little faintish, man. But he said he's gonna redeem us from that. That means favor is gonna kick in. All right, he's not gonna let us die of a famine. You know, the ones that have repented in sincerity now. All right, most are not gonna do that. That's a promise. All right, these people have to worry about these things, man. All right, our people that refuse to return, niggas, the nigga woman. All right, proud as hell, wicked as hell. You know, this is gonna happen to them. You know, Apostle Bar, I remember he was saying that was when they were still on 34th, you know, amongst all that traffic in New York, man. But I know he had a real fiery spirit that I'll never forget, man. And he told us not to fear this, man, because this is for the wicked of our people, man. Look at Jake, man. Look at the woman, man. All right, this family is for them. They finna suffer, man. All right, and that's why Yahweh Shema Shah has us in the spirit of not, you know, being attached to these people, man. That's why he's putting a cold spirit on the elect, man. You know, verse let me get there. Verse 21. Well, I'll go back to the video. All right, it says Job 5:21, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it coming, because it's gonna be a different spirit, you know, on the elect in these times, man, because it's gonna be real severe, man. All right, it's gonna be real severe, you know, in the earth, man. All right, you finna see some heavy, all right, suffering like never before. You gotta think about what she said, man, because don't the script say that this gonna be the worst time since the earth was, you know? So if it's gonna, because see what we're watching, it's gonna be worse than this. You see, it's gonna be worse than this, man. Trying to Find that real quick in Corinthians. I think that's 1 Corinthians where it speaks about gonna be judged. We suffer now, so we won't be judged with the world. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 11 and 32. Yep. 1 Corinthians 11 and 32. All right. And brothers will put another good one. This was your harlots, Judah, Israel. Psalms 34 and 10 said the young lions do lack and suffer hunger. Yeah, it said, but they that seek the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, shall not want anything good. And it said the young lions do lack. And the young lion is in his strength, it's in his power, you know, it has all this vigor. But even they, you know, run the chance of suffering hunger. Well, it says those that fear the Lord. Hold on. But those that fear the Lord should not want any good thing, man. You see? So yep, let's get this. All right. I said they that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing, man. So we want to be in that position, you know, where we're receiving favor, all right, from the same power that's bringing torment in the earth, man. All right. We worship that power now. You know, we've submitted to that power now. All right. But those that don't submit, the Most High is going to make them tap out, man. You know, he's going to make them suffer, man, for not submitting during this time of grace. This 1 Corinthians 11 and 32 said, but when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned, all right, with the world. That we should not be condemned with the world. So we would rather be chastened of the Lord now. We would rather be, you know, you brothers gotta understand, man, it's worth not getting the desires that we want now. It's worth, you know, us being looked at as outcasts, you know, the family council, black sheep, you know, even you sisters, man. Hey, it's worth you being laughed at and mocked, you know, for being submissive to a man or following, you know, this doctrine. All right, then to suffer what these people finna suffer. You see? Hey, because hot girl summer finna be hungry hell. All right, all these hot girl summer. All right, it's gonna be hungry girl summer. All right, starving girl summer. That's what that's finna turn into. You see? So it's worth going through whatever we got to go through now, man. A loss of a job. All right. You might have a new model car, whatever. Hey, you might have to, hey, have no car. Just be in the house. You know, it's worth these things now to suffer for the sake of Yahushua. All right. Than to suffer what the Lord is going to bring to these people, man. You see? Let me go back to the video.
Then there are the rural gangs. Sinazi's family lost nearly everything in repeated raids. Her daughter dresses in an old rice sack. They also use it as a bed.
At night, I sleep here. I crawl inside here. I do it like this, and I sleep here. I'm cold, and I curl up. The bag takes away the pain. If I slept directly on the floor without this bag, it would hurt.
Basic rights are a distant dream here. A safe home, clean clothes, a meal. The family scavenges in the forest to supplement the food handouts.
We eat wild roots, but we are not able to cook them. We put them in the pot. We cover them with water, but it stays raw. The roots are always hard. We eat them, but it doesn't fill us up. My stomach hurts. I have diarrhea. When I go to the toilet, my stools are yellow, and sometimes there is blood. I would like a blanket, clothes, and sandals, but most of all, I would like to eat.
Madagascar is the first country to experience famine caused by climate change, according to the UN. Hundreds of environmental migrants take shelter here in the regional capital, Abomvombe.
5 children and 3 women died. That's what I saw with my own eyes. They died of hunger.
Some are now resorting to drastic measures. They eat scraps of boiled leather picked up from the local shoemaker.
This is how we do it. Like this. Look, we scrape it like this. Then we do this. But my knife is not that sharp. Move so you don't get hurt. Move out of the way. We cut it like this. But this is impossible to cut because it's hard as wood. You think we throw this away? Once it's boiled, we'll eat it straight away because we're so hungry.
But the shoemakers face the same grim reality.
We eat it as well. We cook it if we don't make any money, if no one is buying.
The government will build roads and a pipeline and bring in clean water, part of 140 projects to help the region get back on its feet.
Monsieur le Président Raduel a donné au ministre 3, 6.
President Raswell has given the ministers 3, 6, 12 and 18-month targets to get results. He absolutely wants these projects to have a real impact on people within 18 months.
Soit un réel impact pour cette population. Donc, bien évidemment,
of course, we're talking about roads. We must consider the delays in road construction. We're talking about a pipeline. So that obviously is a big project that will start in January.
Effectivement, c'est un gros projet donc, qui démarrera en janvier.
Meanwhile, the World Food Program is running out of money to help. It still needs $78 million to get through the next lean season, which starts in October.
Do you make less than $50,000 a year? If so, you need to pay close attention.
Congress just passed a free $1.9 trillion stimulus package.
And there you have it. You know, people suffering, man, eating leather from shoemakers, man. All right, and see, and that cuts them guys from Fopi talking about it's so hard being a man, my family depending on me, and no, nigga, them people suffering, man. All right, if you ain't suffering like that, be quiet. All right, be quiet. You niggas ain't going through nothing. You niggas sleeping on Tempur-Pedic mattress. All right. you niggas got child tax credit. You know, I know a woman now, you know, that's getting $2,400 a month in stamps. All right. So you niggas so shut your ass up, man. All right, you niggas ain't gonna do nothing here, man. All right. But it's coming though. Don't you just sit there. If you crying now, you just wait. You know. So let's get a couple of these precepts. Then we're gonna segue to the war and see. Like I say, America is so pampered that this is because what's the conversation in America? You know, dating tips and you know. First dates and all this old type of yeah. You know, the mind of America is not ready for what's really finna happen, man. You know? Now, and brother can post it in Isaiah, you know, thou that dwellest in pleasure, for Isaiah 47. Now, this is from the brother Yashimai, tribe of Judah. This is on Jeremiah 11 and 22. It said, therefore, thus said the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah of hosts, behold, I will punish them, the young men, all right, shall die by the sword, their sons and their daughters shall die by famine. And that's coming again, man. All right, because a lot of men are going to die, you know, trying to do what? Go get food, man, because it's going to be very violent, you know. Going the grocery store experience is going before the food is cut off. It's gonna be a hell of a grocery store experience, man. All right, you're gonna have to know how to fight, you know, for them beans and noodles, man. You see, it's gonna be shootouts about them groceries, man. You know, this is Yashima tribe of Judah. This is 2nd Ezra 16:21 said, behold, victual shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, man. All right. So people are not thinking about a famine. There's not on anyone's mind a famine. Everyone, you know, has a mind frame on what vanity and this place continuing on, man. But here it is, it's finna get very violent because you see the sword and famine come together. Because hey, when the food's short, it's gonna get violent, man. Especially in a country where, all right, the citizens are armed as much as American citizens, man. Then people are confused. You see, we're just watching prophecy play out, but the masses are not gonna know why these things are happening, man. You know, so they're gonna go into survival, all right, and it's gonna be very primitive, man. It's gonna be very cutthroat out here, man. You know, and we're fighting to stay obedient now, so we don't have to go through what these people finna have to go through, man. You know, it said this 2nd Ezra 16:22. It said, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. All right, people are gonna die from lack of food, man. You know, people are gonna die for lack of food in the earth, man. Lack of access to food, because it ain't gonna be, you know, no food on earth. No, it's gonna be a lack of access. People are gonna be cut off from it. You see, it says, in the other day, the escape of the hunger shall the sword destroy. So the famine and sword go hand in hand, but that famine gonna be worse. All right, as the brother put, that famine gonna be worse, man, because there's gonna be a suffering. You know, crying till you faint. Man, the most I finna torture people in the earth, man, for this disobedience, man. You know, how about Shemal Shah is about to make these people suffer in the earth, man. This is Lamentations 4 and 9. I don't know why does it keep doing this, man. All right, this is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 9, and it says, it's from the brother Kamad Tazadak 144, and it says, Lamentation 4 and 9 says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away, stricken through for want of fruits of the field. You see, that's gonna be a long, drawn out, torturous death, man. Your organs shutting down. You see, people just gonna be in the street starving, man. You know, and one thing about it, like brothers always say, whenever you know, you to the point where you so famished that you can't even move, you see, that you can't even move, man. Cause that's when the buzzards, see, the buzzards don't wait, ain't gotta wait till you die. See, buzzards will start eating on you, you know, while you're alive. If you don't have the strength to fight them off, they gonna start eating on you while you alive, man. And they go for all the soft parts first, man. Your eyes gonna be the first thing. You see? Yeah. They got a king size heated mattress. It's so hard being a man. Shut your ass up, man. You know? These soft, effeminate ass Babylonian men, man. And hey, the water, how about Shema Shai for taking us out that mind frame, man? You see? Because the Most High is putting his men, all right, back in this spirit, like King David and his men. They said they were chafed in the spirit like a bear riled of their cubs, man. You know, it's a whole different energy, man. Now this is from the brother Our Award 144K. It says Isaiah 47:8. Therefore, hear now this, that thou art given to pleasure. You see, and America is what? Given unto pleasure. You know, it's all about whining and dining. You know, you have women that go on multiple dates, all right, in the day. You know, there's women that have men that take them on multiple dates in the day, different men. All right. I know the brother Rawah Yashala had posted that video. See if I can find it real quick, man. You know, the little chick on TikTok, but he posts so much stuff now that it'll probably be hard to get to. All right. But you have women, all right, that are so pampered, you know. So when the scriptures say the vengeance shall fail, a brother can post it, you know, rise up, you women that are at ease, because no one's more pampered, you know, than the American woman. All right. Niggas are pampered too. You see? Yep. Here you go right here. Play it here. I played it before. But this is a great example how this is society giving them pleasure. Now this is Isaiah 47:8. It said, therefore hear now this, that thou art given. It said, thou that art given to pleasure, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know, all right, the loss of children. So this is a society that's giving into pleasure. Now, there's nothing wrong, you know, if you go out to eat, you know, you're not wicked, you know. But see, these people, this is all they know. This is all they look forward to. They think this is gonna be this way forever, you know. So there's nothing wrong, you know, you brothers, you take your woman out to eat, you know, or you wine and dine your woman, that's your business, however you want to do it. You see? But these people are giving unto pleasure. Let me show you an example. Let's get it real quick. You know, which hold on. Let's see, did it pull up?
Three men to.
Let me show you real quick. Giving unto pleasures, man. Let me share it. All right. Y'all check y'all sister, y'all.
Three men, 2 dates, 1 day.
I don't need you to find me. You don't define me. I am confidently lost. I don't need you to find me.
Time for date number 2.
'Cause I'm not hiding anything.
My man pulled down my dress, lol. My date bought me a new Apple Pencil. Came home to this from the man I love. Never settle, ladies. 3 men, 2 dates, 1 day.
Thou that are giving unto pleasures, man. You know, but they don't understand that video we just seen is coming here. That same woman, all right. That dress gonna look like a tall T on her ass, man. That fitted dress is gonna be a tall T on her ass soon, man. All right, she gonna look like a franchise boy. All right. That's what's coming. You see? This is on Scribe for the Master is 144, 1 Timothy 5 and 6. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Yeah, she gone. All right. She gonna be one of the ones that pine away. All right. That's gonna be one of the ones that pine away. Ain't gonna be no changing outfits. No, you ain't gonna have the energy to change no goddamn outfits. All right. You finna starve, goddamn. Let's get it's from the brother Avalon War. All right, Avalon War 144K. This is Isaiah 32 and 9. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. You see? And now the word is going out. So all Israelites, men and women, have a chance to repent. The Most High has his hand stretched out through the prophets. You think she trying to hear that she can't do this anymore, that she can't be promiscuous and go on all these dates? And this is just an example of millions of Israelite women that have this mind frame. All right. You think she's going to stop living that lifestyle, to be submissive, to this doctrine? No. So, while she's living it up, having these multiple dates and multiple men and all these different benefits and, living her best life. All right. The scripture telling her to rise up, you women that are at ease, and she's at ease, man. All right. A lot of these women are at ease, man, in this society because this society, that pretty much caters to women. It says, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Yeah, all these benefits, all these niggas that simping. Well, when the dollar crashes, them niggas ain't gonna have no money to do that, man. When it get real violent out here, let's say you a woman, you got 10 men that do things for you. Well, it's gonna go from 10 to 8, from 8, to 3, from 3 to 0, man. You see? Because these niggas gonna be dying, these niggas gonna be starving. All right. Y'all gonna be the scripture tell you, man, hey, you gonna be drinking your water with care, man. I think that's in a brother can post it in I think that's Ezekiel the 4th chapter towards the end. Let me see. All right. But yeah, man, all these different cause women in this society have so many avenues, that that's why they can be careless. Like a woman can go through life with no plan and be taken care of, man. A woman that looks good, she doesn't even have to have no legit plan in life, man. But can win. That's finna be done. So America has bred careless women that are at ease, man. Ain't no urgency to ease, man. She chilling. New niggas begging the trick every day in her inbox, man. She's not tripping. It says on Isaiah 32 and 11 said, tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make yourself bare and gird, all right, sackcloth upon your loins. And you seen that little boy, he had to sleep in that sackcloth, man. So his body wouldn't be hurting for sleeping on the floor. All right. But the scripture say many days and years, man, it's gonna be drawn out, man. Do you know how long a day gonna be when you suffering like that? All right. Women gonna be getting raped. You're gonna be starving and being raped, man. The Most High is finna turn it up, man. The Most High is finna prove a point in the earth, man, in a major way. You see, in a major way. All right. Yep. This is This is Ezekiel 4 and 16. This is brother Yashima tribe of Judah. It said, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care. You see, ain't gonna be no more wine with your pasta and all that. No. All right. And ain't no, it's gonna be a cracker a day regimen. You know, a cracker a day with you know, with a swig of water, man. It's gonna be some hell of a regiments out here, man. There's gonna be some hell of a regiments out here during the famine, man. It said, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water. All right. What's it? All right, they shall drink water by care, and they shall drink water by measures and with astonishment, man. You see? And with astonishment, man. All right? Through. And this was coming, man. And see, this is why, hey, it's good to be down now. I'd rather suffer whatever I got to go through now than to be in the condition these people finna be in, man. All right? And the scripture constantly reiterated, man. GMS, pray, always hope for elect. The second Ezra 15 and 57, it says, Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field, man. So you see that sword and famine go hand in hand, man. You know, it's gonna cannibalism coming back. All right, verse 58. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger and eat their own flesh and drink their own blood for very hunger of bread and a thirst of water, man. It's gonna be a hell of a suffering, man. You know, it's gonna be a hell of a suffering that comes to the earth, man. This society, you know, is about to witness a suffering like never before. All right. This is from brother Ella Kazak Bun Yahweh the 777. In Zechariah 14:12, it said, For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, all right, and the women ravished, and half of the cities shall go forth into captivity, all right, and the residue, which is the elect of the people, shall not be cut off. You know, so we're about to witness the Most High, you know, beat Israel ass, man. You know how your brother, your sister will get their ass tore out the frame in front of you, you know? You get their ass slaughtered in front of you. Well, this is what the Most High is about to do with those that refuse to repent, man. All right? We finna see some things, man, and you know, the hell with these niggas, man. That's why hatred for niggas should be at an all-time high, man. You know? Hatred for the wicked of our people should be at an all-time high. All right, now let's go from there. Let me get this. All right, now this is just a little more info dealing with you know, China, Russia, you know, the whole NATO situation. You know, I just want to try to keep our brothers in the loop of what's going on. And like I say, if you ever got a question about,
I think we're unique because now, as you can see, we are in a studio atmosphere. We're not in a remote atmosphere anymore. But then, how do we kind of continue to use StreamYard? Is pretty much every
TV app today. It's new and improved, so make sure you hit that update button so you can watch TV as it should be. We'll be right back.
all right, so yeah, just want to, you know, go back into what's going on with the whole situation over there with you know, Russia, NATO, and China. You know, and he goes into it's like a 5-minute piece. You know, I'm gonna play off this video and just kind of get, you know, make sure we're all up to speed, because at the end of the day, you know, war and famine go hand in hand, because when wars, especially with this war, which they're going to use a lot of cyber attacks, they're going to shut down grids, and you know, they're going to shut things down. You know, it's gonna cause famines, man. And when you at war, all right, those cargo ships, they not free to move. They gonna be targets, man. You know, it's gonna go from ships just being docked off, you know, the Bay of California, you know, it's going to them ships going kaboom. All right. War and famine go hand in hand, man. You see? So this is just like I said, a quick briefing of what's going on over there with China, you know, Russia and NATO. And I say, you brothers or you sisters, you know, ever have any questions about, you know, what's happening, you know, you not, you know, you don't have the you know, not sure what's going on when you keep hearing the same nation mentioned, you know, and you want to just go into the background of what's going on, you know, just ask the question, you know, we can get into it, you know, because it is good to understand. All right. So let me play it.
Vladimir Putin and his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping held a video conference today. Both publicly committed to strengthening their ties amid increasing strained relations between East and West. RT's Igor Zhdanov has the report.
It comes amid as both nations, they face very similar geopolitical challenges, and most of them are coming from half the world away from the United States. Both nations, both Russia and China, are no stranger to NATO bolstering its military presence either close to the national borders or, when it comes to China, in the Asia-Pacific, in an area that Beijing views as its own backyard. Here, both Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping, they criticized the so-called AUKUS deal, saying that, well, essentially it undermines, well, the global nuclear stability and that it is essentially a threat to global security. Have a listen.
Concern was expressed about the activity of the Americans in reconfiguring the current situation in the Asia-Pacific region. And in this regard, both from our side and from the Chinese side, a negative assessment was expressed about the creation of new alliances such as the Indo-Pacific Quad and the American Anglo-Australian Union AUKUS.
Basically, this AUKUS deal is the United States and the UK uniting and helping Australia create its own, basically expand its nuclear capabilities, expand the nuclear capabilities of its fleet. This is an attempt by Washington and London to make Australia into more of an atomic superpower. In fact, on the side note, this deal has already caused quite a scandal between the allies, because initially France was about to do more or less the same, but Washington and London, well, they muscled out their partner, their ally Paris, out of a very lucrative contract. But going back to
So what you have is America and London, you know, are pretty much turning Australia, you know, into a nuclear storehouse. All right. They turning Australia to a nuclear storehouse, because you'll think like, why does China have a problem with Australia? Well, no, it's a problem with America and London, what they're doing in Australia. You see, they're they're pretty much just turning Australia into a launch pad for missiles, you know, because they're in their region. Because if China's Navy wants to get to America, they will have to pass through Australia and Japan, all right, and Taiwan. So what is America doing? They're weaponizing those islands, all right, for the sake of American defense, man. You see? So China like, well, we not gonna sit back and just let y'all weaponize all these countries around us, man. You know, and Russia's in the same spirit. So this is what we see, that conflict in their region, you know, arising, man.
to the meeting between, going back to this virtual conference between Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping, they also expressed a desire to move further away from exchanges in dollars when it comes to bilateral trade, and will increase the volume of deals in local currencies. In fact, staying with the subject of economy, Vladimir Putin has revealed that more than 150 million of doses of Russia's vaccines against COVID, Sputnik V and Sputnik Light, will be produced in China, as contracts with 6 Chinese firms have been signed. And in general, during 2021, the volume of bilateral trade has increased by 31%, which is basically, it has reached levels higher than before the pandemic. So there you have it. It seems both leaders, they see eye to eye, and this meeting, this virtual summit, seems to have lamented the alliance between Moscow and Beijing.
All right, let's go now to George Galloway. He's a former UK MP for his perspective on this growing Xi-Putin relationship. So, George, Russia and China have been allies for a long time. This we know, but the Xi support of Vladimir Putin's approach on this NATO encroachment really underscores, I think, a new world dawning. Does this allude then to the end of Western hegemony in the new century? And is that a good thing?
Yes and yes, but it depends how old you are if you think they've been allies for a long time. In my lifetime, just in my lifetime, most of the years of my lifetime, the split between China and the former Soviet Union was absolute and absolutely disastrous in many, many places. So well done, Western governments. You have pushed 2 countries that are formerly enemies as close together as it's possible to imagine. Effectively,
So what I want to do, is for y'all to look at, this map that's being shown. Now, when you look at this map in 1990, these are all NATO nations, and you see this gray area. Those are those Soviet Union nations that pretty much broke away, all right, from Russia. So you have these nations, they're their own republic. Now, when you look to 2021, these are all the new NATO nations, and you see that there's more nations that are in red, which are now NATO when you look at the 2021. So now you have these 2 gray areas right here, and the one on the bottom half, when you look at the gray areas between the red and the blue, all right, the blue being Russia, to the right, and the red being NATO. Well, this bigger portion of gray area right here to the bottom, that's Ukraine. All right. Let me pull up a map on my end. Just make sure I'm being accurate. All right, map of all right. Now, this is what you have. All right. So NATO has been pretty much easing towards the border of Russia. You see, because when Russia, the whole purpose of NATO was to prevent Russia from becoming a superpower. All right, and to prevent another Russian invasion of Europe. Because when Russia invaded Europe after World War II, they pretty much had their way with Germany, and they was a powerhouse. So the West, all right, which won World War II, the Western Axis, all right, the Western Alliance of countries, which is NATO, EU, America, they like, look, we got a symbol of an alliance, all right, the North Atlantic, all right, Treaty Organization, which is NATO. They had to form it to pretty much be a buffer to Russia, so Russia would never have access to invade Europe again. So what NATO did was start turning all these different former Soviet, all right, countries into NATO countries. So now all you have right here, you have at the top this little gray in the top. That's Belarus. Now Belarus is pro-Russian. So Russia, all right, has Belarus, on its side. But Ukraine is kind of in the middle, and Russia like, well, look, if y'all take Ukraine, y'all gonna be on our border. You see? So y'all make Ukraine a NATO nation, y'all gonna be on our border. Like y'all, Russia, like, damn, y'all done took all these countries already, you know? But now they want Ukraine, and that's why you hear the big conflict about Ukraine, you know? So the thing to watch for is if NATO tries to make Ukraine a NATO nation. And I think when that happens, Russia gonna invade, man. All right. Because one thing about it, you can't be no damn dummy, because if they get in Ukraine, eventually where they gonna keep going? They're gonna go into Russia. So right here you have a stalemate in Ukraine. There's a lot of troop movement, there's a lot of military movements because this is pretty much the stalemate. This is like the last draw. Like if you get Ukraine, then y'all on our borders, man. And we know y'all mindset. So that's the importance of Ukraine, like Belarus and Ukraine, the only two of those former Soviet nations that haven't been flipped to NATO. So they got, Russia pretty much has a stronghold in Belarus, all right, but with Ukraine is kind of in between. So that's why you see the big conflict, circling, all right, Ukraine, all right. So hold on, come on, man. So I'm gonna let it play again.
And is that a good thing? Is that a good thing?
Yes and yes, but it depends how old you are. If you think
And China have been allies for a long time. This we know, but the Xi support of Vladimir Putin's approach on this NATO encroachment really underscores, I think, a new world dawning. Does this allude then to the end of Western hegemony in the new century? And is that a good thing?
yes and yes, but it depends how old you are. If you think they've been allies for a long time. In my lifetime, just in my lifetime, most of the years of my lifetime, the split between China and the former Soviet Union was absolute and absolutely disastrous in many, many places. So well done, Western governments. You have pushed two countries that were formerly enemies as close together as it's possible to imagine. Effectively now one country, certainly in military terms, certainly in global strategic terms, increasingly in economic terms and in financial terms. So in trying to pursue a war on two fronts, making an enemy of Russia and an enemy of China, our governments have pushed Russia and China entirely together. So it's a triumph of statecraft. It is not, of course, but the sun is rising in the east. There was no reason for it, therefore, to set in the west. We had a choice to have good relations with these rising powers, Russia rising again since the days of Boris Yeltsin when it was lying drunk on the floor and having its pocket picked. Putin has made Russia great again. And China was always on a curve to be great. Now we've got two great powers acting in concert. As I say, it's the fruit of disastrous, bad foreign policy.
Now, on that note, George, President Xi seemed to sympathize with Vladimir Putin on being subjected to scores of U.S. sanctions. So here we are. China is, swiftly working on the Belt and Road Initiative, infrastructure in Africa, and so on. The U.S. foreign policy seems focused on retribution and punitive measures. How long can such an ideology on foreign policy last?
It's already running out of time. The threat against Russia to cut it out of the SWIFT system merely means that Russia and China will now do business in each other's local currencies. As a matter of fact, we haven't just pushed Russia and China together. We pushed Russia and China together with Iran, and almost unbelievably, increasingly with India. Even the UAE, a puppet state, one thought, of the United States, is canceling its American warplane order because the US tried to dictate to it how it could use the weapon it was paying billions of dollars to the Americans to buy. So this policy of sanction, browbeating, bullying, is inevitably running out of time once you are no longer the biggest bully in the playground. Everyone's afraid of the biggest boy in the playground, but when there's lots of big boys, some of them younger, fitter, more virile than Joe Biden's USA, people have got choices, Manila.
We'll leave that there. George Galloway, thank you so much. All right, the number of microbial enzymes with the ability to degrade
All right. So as he said, man, America is not the the big bully anymore, man. All right. You got plenty bullies on the playground now. So hey, it's gonna be a clash, man. You see? What he say, Elias Obama brought out last night in camp that China said democracy is because the ways of Esau Edom, it began off as cute, it began off as a new way, a new thing, but now everyone that's trusting in the in some type of philosophy of Esau Edom, they're losing. And brother put that in let's post a few scriptures, then get ready to wrap it up. Brother can put that in Jeremiah 51:7. A brother can post Jeremiah 50:22 and 23, and Joel. Let's see. Let's get the book of Joel 3, verse 9, 10. Yep, verse 9 and 10. And then let's get we ended. Let's end it with Proverbs 19 and 21. All right. Yeah, man, because democracy, when you go into it, is Yashima tribe of Judah, Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. See, America, has been pretty much the powerhouse of the earth. And these nations have been influenced by the ways of America, because America, like the golden cup on the outside of the cup, the cup is decked out, and these nations, they idolize, all right, the appearance of America, man, of the American society, Western thought, you see, that made all the earth drunken. The nation have drunken of her wine, and democracy is a part of it. Therefore, the nations are mad. Why? Because they're seeing the after effects. See, now these nations are going through the hangover, because when you're drunk and or you're drinking and you're partying and you in the mood, all right, you with the women, you embracing that moment. It's a great time, but then it's that morning after, man. And right now we in the morning after, with these nations, man. You see, they got their hangover, their headache, throwing up. You see, you got in Russia and China where they pretty much trying to emasculate the men again, suing Netflix for Netflix pushing, the alphabet agenda within these different cartoons. That's them throwing up. They throwing up their wine, man. You see, all right. This is our War 144K. It said Joel 3:9. It said, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up." And that's what's happening in real time, man. These nations are getting closer and closer together to war, man. All right. NATO forces right there on the border with Russian forces. You have Iranian forces, and them Israeli forces, man. You see, and China bagging Iran and Russia, man. So all these things are happening, man. The nations are being prepared for war, man. All right. The mindset in the earth is war. Joel 3:12 said, "Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong." Yeah, because you have more bullies in the earth now. You see, America not just this one solo bully that's just doing what it's wanting to do. Now there's some resistance. Now there's other bullies, man. All right, these nations have hit their growth spurt. All right, militarily, man. It said, "This is on Yashima tribe of Judah." Jeremiah 15:22 says, "A sound of battle is in their land and of great destruction." This is nothing but war drums. When we hear these different reports and these different movements and what's going on, these are war drums, man. This is Jeremiah 15:23. It says, "How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations?" And why is that, man? Because these nations are allied together, all right, to take this place down, man. These nations are allied together to take this place down, and it's going to happen. This is Yashima tribe of Judah, Proverbs 19:21. "There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, they shall stand." So these nations can have all these plans, what they want to do, and peace talks, and we want to work it out, and we trying to do this, and by year 2025, and all these different things. No, the Most High is going to put the spirit on these nations to fight, man, to go with it, and then they're going to exhaust all their nuclear stockpiles. The Most High gonna make sure all those missiles come out those silos, man. So yeah, that's the point. I just want to go into those two things this morning. Dealing with those two videos, man, because hey, America get ready, man, because it's gonna be the worst when they hit here. So Lord will, you brothers, you few sisters were edified. Till next time I say shalom, Kwam Yashala, Bob, Ball, DTA soon. All right. Hey, how about Shema Shah Shalak, Rayon, Wad Nashim, Wad Balim, Wad Ragim, Wad Mashapayim, Wad Call, Wad Womium, Wad Gawayon, Wad Yab Yom Wad, Bakusha, to Wad, Yahweh Shema Shah Shalak, Maga Payom, Al Womium, Waha, Rasha, Wad Babal, Bakusha, to Wad, man. Putting curses on this place, man. It's that time. All right. Shalom.